I am excited for summer this year in a way that I haven't been since I was a child. I don't know whether it's because winter in Shetland was so long and so cold, but I have been craving summer. Now don't get me wrong, I am aware that I am still in Scotland and so I have very realistic expectations for the weather, but the motto for this year is summer is a state of mind. I can have exactly the summer I want, regardless of the weather. And this year, I want a rom-com summer. Actually, maybe it would be more accurate to say I want a 90s glow-up montage summer, but that's just not as catchy. I don't want the romance part, I want the montage, where the main character finally chooses herself and goes after the life she wants. In 3 months' time, I want to look back on a summer full of memories, where the days felt long and full because I was fully present, where I said yes to new things, went to new places, met new people. I want this summer to feel like I really, truly lived. Alright, hopping in from the future. I've just been editing the video and I did film talking you through my summer bucket list on the beach, but must have not quite plugged my mic in properly because all you could hear was the waves and not me talking. So I have come to my favourite lookout spot. Try and keep my hair out of my face. I've come to my favourite lookout spot. I've got my list copied onto my phone, so I'm going to talk you through what I've got on my summer bucket list. Also, can we just appreciate the fact that this is 10 minutes from my front door, in the car, not walking, 10 minutes in the car from my front door. I haven't been up this road. It's quite like an off-roady road into the forest park, and I've not been up here in a couple of weeks because my exhaust started rattling and I was so worried about it just like falling off. So I've been avoiding coming out this way, and then I just took it into the garage the other day and decided to just have a whole new exhaust put on because there was a conversation about welding, but they weren't sure it would hold, and I just thought for where I live now, just like a new exhaust that I don't have to worry about would be the better option. So I've got a brand new exhaust on my little car, which is nice. So now I feel much more confident taking her out on the slightly more rough roads. Another like sign, I guess, of how nice of a place I've moved to. So there's two things that I need to do with my car. I need a new exhaust, and then my airbag light was on, so I got them to check that, and they said it wasn't the airbag, but it's that thing in your seatbelt that like catches when you, if you were to crash, the thing that catches in your seatbelt to stop you from flying forward, that's broken. So they've ordered me a new one of those. That's not going to be here for a few days. But when I went to pick it up after they did the exhaust, they said, I tried to pay them, and he was like, oh, just pay me when you come back for the other job, you can pay it all together. And it's like the price of an exhaust compared to like the 20-30 quid it's going to cost to get the new little seatbelt thing on, and it's like they just let me walk away without paying them anything. It's crazy, but lovely that I'm in such a nice, like, trusting place. Okay, anyway, enough rambling. On to the bucket list. I hope my hair is not as annoying for you guys as it is for me. Would have to do an ear tuck. Okay, so first thing on my bucket list is to find the perfect vintage bicycle. I feel like I'm in a place where I could do so many cute little cycles around, cycle to the local shop, get a little coffee, get a little baked good. Like, I just want a really nice vintagey bike with a basket on the front. I'm on Facebook Marketplace daily at this point looking for one, so that's on my list. And then obviously number 2 on my list, once I've got that, is to go on lots of whimsical bike rides, take a little picnic in the basket, or like I said, just go and pick up a coffee with it. Just have a bike ridey summer. I've got some garden related things on here. So I've got quite a big garden full of plants. So a big goal for me this summer is to I want to mainly just watch what comes up in the garden and make note of what I've got so that I can plan for next year what I want to do with it. So I want to learn about what I've got in my garden. I want to maintain the garden this year. And then I'm going to set myself one goal of just adding maybe like one new flowering plant into the garden. Another garden related thing on my bucket list, which, spoiler alert because this is future Amy, I have now ticked off, is to add a little bistro set to the garden because there wasn't actually anywhere to sit. So I've added a a really cute little bistro table so I can go and have breakfast out there or just sit and drink my tea out there, which is really nice. I want to do a weekly trip to the beach. I think as much as I'm very excited to explore the forests and all these beautiful hills, I keep thinking that sign behind me is a person. As much as I'm excited to explore all the forests, I think for the summer I'm going to take advantage of being so close to the coast and have like a coastal summer, and then for autumn come inland and explore the forests. So I'm going to aim to go to the beach once a week, weather permitting. Either like make a point to take my breakfast to the beach or take dinner to the beach or just go hang out at the weekend. Like I want to make sure I'm going regularly, because if you don't, before you know it, summer will just slip you by completely and you realise you've only been once. So I'm going to try and make it like a part of my routine. I've added a crafty thing onto my bucket list to try and help me to be a bit more offline, a bit more present, a bit more... You good? Good. Okay, you're on my car and it just fell over. So yeah, I've added one sort of like summer craft to my bucket list to help me be a bit more present, a bit more offline, like do things with my hands. So my like hobby crafty thing for the summer is going to be air dry clay. So I'm going to get that and try and get somewhat decent at making things with air dry clay. I mean, it's not about getting good at it, is it? It should be just about enjoying the process of making something. I have picked up like a sort of beachy rom-com-y book, and I've designated that as my outdoor book for the summer. So that book is only allowed to be read outside. So I'm going to leave it in my car and I'm just going to have that as my out and about book, which I think would be really fun. And I'm going to make like a dedicated reading video for that one so that you can see all the places that I read it in. I want to make lemonade and make smoothies every week. I last year learned how to make lemonade from scratch and I realised how shockingly easy it is. So I'm going to try and do that every week and just have fresh lemonade every week. I do want to find a summer waterfall though, because it is really special having a little dip in a waterfall pool. So I'm going to explore some of the trails around here and see if I can get to the waterfalls. I want to swim in the sea on one of my weekly trips to the beach. I want to actually properly go in the sea, because what I realised about being in Shetland is that I don't like living by the sea if I can't go in the sea. Like for me, when I'm looking at the ocean, I'm like, I want to be in it. And Shetland, for a whole bunch of reasons, mainly it was too cold, I didn't actually get to go in the sea. So I want to make sure I'm swimming in the sea this summer. Just a general reminder to drive around with the windows down at any and every opportunity that I can, because that's one of the really special things about summer. I've got on my bucket list to join a club, which I have already ticked off because I was really brave and I've gone to an in-person book club. I'm really behind on putting this video together, so I've actually been to, it's every month, and I've actually been to 2 of them now. So that's already ticked off. So I'm a part of a book club, which is really nice and really special. I want to have a film camera for the summer. I think summer is the best season to use up film in, so I want to buy myself a little film camera and just try and capture my memories in that it's more spontaneous. You can't see what you've taken until you develop it, so you can stay more in the moment. You just snap a picture and move on. So I want to try and capture memories on film this summer. I'm designating Friday nights as my night to date myself, so I want to do something special for myself on Friday nights, whether it's just go out and get a chippy and like sit in the car if it's raining, or come out somewhere like this and have dinner. I want to take myself on nice, I want to date myself. I want to set the standard for how I want to be treated by treating myself that way. So Friday night is my night to do something nice for myself. And this one, I don't know, I need to like get online and have a look, but I want to try and find some like surfer vibe towns, because I, growing up, was a Cornwall baby. We summered in Cornwall every year, and that whole like I'm if you've been to Cornwall, you know what I'm talking about. The vibe of the Cornish seaside towns is just something so special. And I don't know, I know people surf in Scotland, but I don't know like what if there's like whole surfer towns with that kind of vibe. And I'd love to find some of those shops, you know, like fat fish, is that what it's called? Weird fish, fat face, animal, Roxy. Like, I'd love to find those kind of shops in a little seaside town in Scotland. So that's what I'll be on the hunt for this summer as well. And then my last thing is just to play. I want to remind myself that life is supposed to be fun. You're not supposed to be miserable. You're supposed to be enjoying yourself. And so I want to look at things through a more playful lens. I am quite a whimsical, playful, light-hearted. Well, I like to make things special, but I just want to remind myself this summer that it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. I want to be laughing a lot and giggling and being silly and just remembering that it's supposed to be fun and saying yes to things for the plot, expanding my horizons. I have come here to build a new life, so I need to get out of the house and meet people and say yes to things and join in with things and build up my life. So those are my intentions for the summer. Like I said, this is future Amy hopping in. I've started editing the video, and in some bits of it I might seem a little bit emotional or a little bit sad. When I was filming the bulk of this video, it was like the week leading up to my birthday, so I think I was just feeling a little bit extra sensitive about, you know, like, it's the big milestones, the big life events, the things like post breakup. I was feeling like extra in my feels about being alone for my... Whoa, you nearly went again then. I might have to just hold you. I was feeling a little bit sensitive, I think, because my birthday was coming up and I was all in my feels about being alone. I was just all in my head about it. And then I tried to film a birthday vlog, and every single thing, I had 3 days off work for my birthday, every single thing I tried to do went horrifically wrong for those 3 days, so I just called it a write-off and moved on. But I want to say that if I seem a little bit sad in the video that you're watching, like, fast forward to now, I feel completely fine. I feel so happy and calm and content, and I'm in a really, really good place. I'm very confident and happy that I've made the absolute right decision in being here right now, and I'm having a lot of fun. And yeah, basically, if you think I might be a bit upset during this video, I probably was back then, but right now I feel fine, I feel happy, we're all good. So we're going to get through this video and then we're going to move on. I am feeling happy, so I think I'm going to stop rambling now. I think I've said everything I want to say. I'm going to sit and enjoy this beautiful view, and I'll let you hop back in to the rest of the video. I've got a green fly on my finger. I used to be petrified of green flies when I was little. I would scream and cry every time they landed on me. And my nan was the one that actually helped me to get over my fear of them, and she decided that they were all called Sophie. So every time a little green fly landed on me, she said, "Oh, don't worry, it's just a little Sophie." And she made them cute, and then they weren't scary anymore. So now every time a green fly lands on me, I think about my nana, which is really special. Anyway, okay, so to help me to achieve the summer of my dreams, there are a few things that I want to do to help me to be fully present and to feel really good. So number one is to reduce my screen time, specifically my phone time. I feel like this one is so obvious that it goes without saying, but I will be blocking all of the distracting apps for pretty much most of the day. Number two is outside, outside, outside. I will be doing everything outside that I possibly can, anytime, whether it's nice enough to be outside, even if it's not, we can just put a raincoat on. I'll be outside. I want to eat breakfast outside. I want to take my morning tea outside. I want to just enjoy the beauty that is Scotland and being outside in it. Another thing that will help you to feel really good is to use the natural light to set your circadian rhythm. So to see the early morning sunlight, the sunrise, and the late evening, the red light, the sunset. Get that in your eyes, get that on your face. It will help you sleep so much better, it will help you feel so much better. So That's what I'm going to be aiming for as well. Luckily with Sika, she has to go out for her morning and night wees, so I'm going to try and just spend a few minutes outside very early morning and then late evening as the sun's setting, just soaking up that light. Okay, my third thing is to say yes more than I say no. I think I've been sitting in my comfort zone for far too long, and whilst at first it can feel really nice to be a bit more gentle on yourself and to indulge yourself and to not make yourself do difficult things, I've actually found that in the long run it makes me feel a lot worse. So I definitely need a certain amount of pushing myself to do difficult things to then make the rest of my life feel so much easier. So I'm saying yes to being outside of my comfort zone, I am saying yes to new experiences, and yes to life, basically. I also recently heard someone talking about increasing their surface area for look by being out in the world more, and the more that you put yourself out there, the more chance you have for good things to happen to you. So I'm going to really try and take that on board this year as well. I just wanted to really quickly add this in, and quickly because I've just gotten home and I'm starving. On the point that I just made about saying yes to things and building up my mental toughness again, and not actually being a little bit hard, I don't want to say harder on myself, but yes, being a little bit harder on myself is actually sometimes the kindest thing to do. I, a few years ago, did like martial arts classes, and I found that to be extremely cathartic, in that the actual classes themselves were horrendous and so physically demanding, and so part of what we did was like self-defense classes. So they would put you through stress drills to see if you could perform in a stressful environment. Not perform, but, you know, remember what you were supposed to do in a stressful environment. And the actual classes themselves were so horrendous that it made everything in my life just feel easier by virtue of it not being as hard as these classes. So that was really good. But then obviously I've spent a year in Shetland, and over the summer it felt a bit better, but the winter was long, and you know, it's a tough winter. The weather's bad. Most of the things, especially on the island that we were on, pretty much everything closes. Like, there's not much to do. So I spent a good 8 months barely leaving the house, like not really doing much at all. And then it's obviously been like a really stressful time with everything that's going on and moving here. So anyway, I'm sort of at the point again where I'm starting again. But it's, like I said, it's not as difficult because I know that I can do it because I've done it before. But what I wanted to say was, on my point of saying yes, I just went to my first yoga class in the village. And first of all, I'm so grateful that there's classes. There's actually so much going on in this village. I love it. But I just went to my first yoga class this evening, and I felt sort of alright about it all day, but then in like the half an hour before I left, I was nervous. I was on and off the toilet. I was debating, like, can I even get out of the door? I don't know, like it was difficult. And like I said, the only thing that actually pushed me out the door was knowing that I've done this kind of thing before, knowing that I can do it and how much better I'll feel afterwards. So I went, I made it, and I feel like I experience this when I get really anxious to do something, and I get that massive, it feels enormous. I feel like I'm coming down with the flu. That's like how much adrenaline's in my body. Like, my skin feels strange and like a little bit feverish, and like I'm shaking, and like the inside of my body vibrates. Like, and then when I get to the place and I start doing the thing, I have that moment where, like, once I'm in and I've kind of settled, I go, oh, like, it's actually fine. But then I think during that calm down of adrenaline, I can feel quite ill. And I think that's like a bit of an experience that I struggle with. It's like, once I'm in, I'm like, oh, it's okay. My body starts to relax, and then it has that like little crash after the adrenaline. But I know to expect that now, like I know what it is. And luckily, because it was yoga, it was a very, very relaxed yoga. Like we spent the first 15 minutes lying down, which was a nice chance for me to just like try and settle in. And my heart was like in my chest, and it was supposed to be this really nice relaxing thing, and all I can think about is like fleeing for the door. But I will say, by the end of the class, I did feel so grounded and so relaxed. And, you know, I had to work through the first half of the class feeling like I wanted to burst into tears, feeling like I just wanted to flee for the door. But I think pushing through those situations, making yourself do things, I think there's an amount of discernment that's involved between, and this is what I think I've figured it out now, but it's taken me a while to get to the point where I have to figure out if I don't want to do something because I genuinely don't want to do it, or if I don't want to do something because I feel anxious about it. And if I just don't want to do it because it makes me feel anxious, then that's the thing that I have to make myself do, and I have to do it anyway. Like if I sit and think about it, I'm like, actually, I just don't want to do that, then fair enough. But if it's just anxiety, that's the little naysayer in my head, then I have to make myself do it. And mid-class, I had the moment where I actually started to feel good, where I was like, I've done it. I'm here. Like, this is another win, another little brick in my I don't know what metaphor I'm searching, but it's just that feeling of beating your brain. Like, she is not always me. And this has ended up being a lot longer than I intended. I just meant to say that I did my first yoga class and I was really nervous about it, but I did it anyway, and now I feel really, really good doing the difficult thing. And that's the energy that I want for this summer. By the end of summer, I want to feel like I have a full life and feel like I have actively taken charge and built the life that I want, and not let any worries or anxieties stop me from having the kind of life that I want to have. I've got my monthly book club, weekly yoga now. Like, next week's going to be so much easier to go compared to this week, and every week it will just get easier and easier and easier till it becomes something that is not even a worry at all. So yeah, the theme of the summer, and we said rom-com summer, the theme of the summer is nothing is going to stop me from living the life that I want to live, which is kind of rom-com. Like I said, I'm in the stage of the montage is playing and I am rebuilding my life. So that's it. That's what I wanted to say. I'm taking charge. I'm doing the scary things. I feel amazing for it. So perhaps if you need a little push to do something scary, let this be it. Anyway, I'm gonna have my dinner now, because if I keep talking I will cry and I'm very hungry. So I'm gonna have my dinner and let's resume the video. thought the other day that struck me like lightning. At the end of last year, when I was really going through it and I just didn't know what to do or what the right decision to make was, I prayed for guidance. And I feel like at some point we've all done this. I asked for a sign and I asked for strawberries. I said, strawberries is the sign, strawberries is the password. If I'm supposed to stay, have him talk to me about strawberries, show me some strawberries, just anything to do with strawberries. And obviously that never happened, and then I forgot all about it and things went the way that they did. But fast forward to now, and I have been taking stock of what I've got in my garden this week, and do you know what is in every single one of my flower beds? Do you know what's spreading across the entire garden, front and back? What is growing up the walls of my house, growing in the gravel, growing on every single crack and spare bit of space? Strawberries. And it didn't even hit me when I first saw them. I didn't make the connection. It was literally the other day, and I was just like going about my day. I think I was doing the washing up or something, you know, when those thoughts always hit you. And it was just like being struck with a bolt of lightning, and I remembered that I asked for strawberries. So safe to say, I got very emotional and I feel like I've had my sign that I'm on the right path and this is where I'm supposed to be because I've got my strawberries. Friday night, and I don't know if you could tell, but when I got in the car to come here, it was roasting, like melt out of your skin hot. I drove into town, I got a fish and chips, and I've come to park up at the beach, and in that time it's clouded over completely, the fog is descending and it's dropped. Not like cold, obviously, I'm not cold, but like it's not hot anymore, which is fine. I'm just sitting in the car eating my fish and chips instead. I was planning on eating on the beach and then actually having a swim in the sea, because last night I went to book club and then it finished at about 8:30 in the evening, and it was so warm still at that time and beautiful, and I just could not bear to drive home with the weather that beautiful. So book club is in this little bistro that like overlooks the harbour, which is gorgeous because you're sitting overlooking the sea. You're talking about books, what could be better? Because obviously there's a beach right there, so I just went to the beach instead, and it was the most magical thing in the world. There was people with horses on the beach, like taking them for a dip in the sea. There's people paddleboarding, people swimming, just people having their day on the beach. It was so nice, and yeah, I just sat and like I wasn't planning on going to the beach, I didn't have anything with me, I just sat and looked and soaked it all in. And I like dipped my feet in the sea, and it was so warm, like actually warm, not just not cold, but like actively warm and I wanted to swim so bad, and I was kicking myself because I've been meaning for a couple of weeks now to like put a summer like essentials bag in the car and keep something in the car at all times. So like I'll always have towels and some swimwear and a change of clothes and some flip-flops, like just always having stuff in the car ready to go for just that occasion, so that I could have like nipped back to the car, thrown my swimmers on, gone in the sea. I've been meaning to do it for a couple of weeks, but it's been raining, so I just was like, oh well, I'll do that later. And then last night was the perfect time where it would have been like, that's exactly what I wanted to have the emergency bag in the car for, and I didn't, so I kicked myself. I couldn't go swimming. So tonight when I finished work and it was still really hot, I was like, right, go, swimming costume on, towels in the car, let's go get dinner, let's go get in the sea. And by the time I've gotten here it's gone kind of cold, so I probably won't be swimming tonight, but I will definitely this weekend be setting up my summer car essentials. While we're having a little natter, I'll tell you how I'm feeling. I'm feeling okay, like day to day I think I'm feeling fine. I'm just, I think, still adjusting to coming out of a long relationship where it was, you know, there's this one solid person that I tell everything to, and I tell them about things that make me happy, I tell them about things that make me sad, I tell them about things I'm worried about. And there's this one constant person that you almost start to like measure your life by, and every time something happens you want to tell that person, and then the first person you tell and you check in with them. I feel like that's the part I'm having a hard time adjusting to. Like I was on the beach last night having such a beautiful time and I was so happy, and then I was like, oh, I need to share this with someone because it's so amazing, I need to tell someone about this. And then it was like instinct almost that I wanted to pick up the phone and call him, because I'm just like, that's still my first thought, is, well, I'll tell him about this, but he's not my person anymore, I don't have a person. So I think there's this adjustment period where I have to get used to me experiencing things by myself and that being enough. Like I don't need to tell somebody else about things that I experience, or I don't need to tell someone else my thoughts or my emotions or my feelings. Like I can just experience it for myself, and that's enough. Like it's like, I don't know what the right word is, like self-validating, self-regulating. Like I'm just doing things by myself, for myself, and no one has to witness that. And it's that like adjustment that I think is tricky. I also feel heartbreak feels very poetic, and it's pretty beautiful really, and I think that's the main thing that I'm feeling, is like how incredibly grateful I am to feel so deeply. And I think I love very deeply, which means that I also hurt very deeply, but that's a trade-off that I will take anytime. Yeah, what a privilege it is to experience the full breadth of human emotions and humans' capacity for feeling. Also, my algorithm obviously knows that I've had a breakup, and all I'm seeing everywhere is breakup content, which I'm trying to like steer away from a little bit because I don't want to sit in it for too much, but it has been quite comforting knowing that everybody everywhere experiences heartbreak, whether it's, you know, a breakup or grief. Everyone will experience heartbreak in their life, and I think it's that reminder that this is this thing we all have in common. We all love, and love so deeply, and everybody feels this, and it is quite a beautiful feeling. So yeah, I'm just trying to appreciate it for what it is, and for my capacity to have this depth of feeling. When my nana passed, actually, I ended up spending a lot of time hanging out in graveyards, which I know is very Elena Gilbert coded of me, but I realised that I felt so much comfort being in a place with such tangible evidence that everybody in the history of the world ever has experienced this same kind of grief that I'm feeling. And I think because it hit me really hard when she passed. It was nice to go somewhere and have such a powerful reminder that everybody has experienced this, and if all of humanity ever can go through this, then so can I. And then I did start to get a really big appreciation for how beautiful the old graveyards are in the UK. So it did turn into just sort of a hobby that I like to seek them out when I go to new places and have a wander around and see how old the gravestones are and see what people have written on them and all the lovely messages. Like, I do still really enjoy it. So that's kind of how I'm feeling. I've also decided that it's pretty chic and very rom-com coded of me to have come out of a 7-year relationship at 30 and uproot my life and move somewhere completely new and completely start from scratch. It's very rom-com coded, hence the theme for the summer being a rom-com summer. I'm just going to get stuck into it. I've come here to start a new life, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out into the world and experience things and build my life again, which is what I'm sitting in my car on my own, but kind of what I'm doing right now. So I put on my summer bucket list. Obviously the Friday nights are solo date nights, and that can be anything, even just this, even just getting fish and chips and eating it in my car. I'm just getting out of the house and doing things. It's very good for me to get out of the house regularly, because if I don't, I start to find it very difficult. So it's going to keep me in the loop of like getting out of the house more, and also just doing the things that I want to do. I don't need anyone to do it with. I can just do the things I want to do because I want to do them. Get comfortable being out and about on my own. So yeah, it could just be go to the beach. It could, if it's bad weather, it could be get fish and chips and eat in the car. It could be as simple as I will go and buy myself flowers and a nice chocolate bar if it's like really bad, or if I'm not feeling great, like if it's, you know, all that time of the month. It might just be a case of I'll go to the shop, I'll get some flowers, I'll get a chocolate bar, maybe a nice magazine, and have just like a nice purposeful self-care evening. I just want to do something for me every Friday, and this is my first one. Planned on being on the beach, but it has dropped in temperature, so we're sitting in the car eating my fish and chips, looking at the ocean. Happily with this car, it's got like a split boot, so I've got the bottom half closed for a bit of like wind shelter, and then the top level of the glass like swings up so I can like properly see out and smell the sea air, which is nice.
So go ahead and leave it. I don't know what's on your mind,
Happy birthday.
and there's no way I can
It's not
fix it. But you're also leaving me behind. Just a few more hours, you'll be on your way,
Here we go.
like dancing on a wire.
It's my birthday.
Oh, how I try to
I'm not gonna lie,
make you
guys, I might have already cried like 3 times today. Ta-da! Okay, I need a ruling, but also if it looks bad, I probably already want it, so don't tell me. Do I look okay? Yeah? But what the heck, right?
Won't you stay? Tell me all your secrets, 'cause I already forgot. I need to be stronger
fly season all over the windscreen and my windows. And like, I know that they're not touching me right now and they can't get in, but I don't. It's giving me the heebie-jeebies.